The year is 1995, and HAL Laboratories collabed with Toast Co. Limited, who would become famous for their Game & Watch Gallery series and the legendary Starfy, to create the new Kirby spin-off. Fun fact, Toast Co. Limited wasn't even credited in this game. The only way people knew they were involved was that the credits shared many of the Toast Co. Limited staff members. Either way, the Kirby spin-off that they decided on creating was Kirby's Block Ball, a Kirby game mixed with Breakout. Apparently, the devs had a bit of trouble developing this game, having producers at HAL Laboratories have them make changes because the game wasn't like Kirby. Will Gunpei Yokoi's last Game Boy game as producer turn out great? Or will the troubled development show? This story is just a rehash of Kirby's Dream Land. King Dedede once again steals all of the sparkling stars, and Kirby needs to get them back. The difference this time, however, is that King Dedede flees to Block World to hide from Kirby. Kirby travels up to Block World and, using his ball form, breaks all of the blocks and defeats all of Dedede's henchmen. This story is very cut and dry. Dedede steals things, Kirby has to stop him, weird gimmick because it's a spinoff. I do have to give the game this though. It actually gave a reason as to why Kirby is in his ball form and uses it the whole game. That's more than what Kirby's Pinball Land and Kirby's Dream Course did. With that in mind, Kirby's Block Ball's story gets a B. Oh boy, the gameplay. I've been waiting to get to this ever since I was recording footage for this game. At this game's core, it's Brick Break, or more commonly known as Arkanoid. Let me tell you that I love Arkanoid. There is a hidden gem on the PlayStation 1 called Sorcerer's Maze that is an amazing Arkanoid clone that has multiple stages, power-ups for your ball, boss battles, and is super addicting. This game is much the same, but so much worse. You use the paddle to hit Kirby into the blocks, clear all the blocks to beat the board. You can just smack into them, hit the A button to super bounce Kirby into otherwise unbreakable blocks, or use one of the 4, that's right, only 4 copy abilities. Spike allows you to stick back onto the paddle so you can re-aim. Fire shoots you up, Stone shoots you down, and Shock lets you go through blocks without resistance. My personal favorite is honestly Fire. This ability has saved me from dying countless times. After clearing 3 boards in a level, you will be put in the boss room, where you must deplete the enemy's health bar using the same Arkanoid method. Hitting the boss with a copy ability does double damage. What the player's top priority should be is getting as many points as possible. The reason for this is because each level has a borderline score that the player must meet. Beating a level normally will unlock the next stage, but if all of the borderline scores are not met, you cannot fight King Dedede in the final stage. When I tell you these scores are strict, I mean it. You need to get as many lives as possible, successfully complete all of the bonus chances, and not lose a single life, and maybe you'll get close to the borderline score. It's honestly insane what this game expects of you. Plus, there are just times where you have to do this. Isn't that fun? No, this game is not fun at all. At first, I was having a great time playing this Arkanoid clone, but very quickly, like I'm talking stage 3, this game gets very frustrating. Their idea of difficulty is making you keep track of 4 walls at once with spikes and bumpers, as well as barely giving you any room to work with. What is so great about Arkanoid is the disconnect between the blocks and the ball, and using your paddle to manipulate the ball into going where you want it to go. The manipulation of the ball is near impossible here. You can still do it, but you have to hit the ball on the very, very edge of the pixel on the side of the paddle to do so. It's so counterintuitive. Also, all of the blocks are put in the middle, barely leaving you any room to work with, leading to a lot of quick deaths in the endgame. Kirby's Block Ball was one of the most frustrating gameplay experiences I've ever had, and I honestly could not recommend it to anybody, not even a casual player. I dreaded recording gameplay for this game. Kirby's Block Ball's gameplay gets an F. All things considered with the gameplay, the presentation of the game is pretty dang good. For a Game Boy title, the graphics of the game are astounding when they feel like doing it. The overworld map, the ending screen, the sprite art of the bosses, it's all gorgeous. Not only that, but the music is also really good. Namely, the boss theme in this game is definitely a highlight. Honestly, there really isn't that much to say here except that the game looks great for the platform it's on. Kirby's Block Ball's presentation gets an A+. Credit where credit's due. You can probably see where this is going to go. For the love of God, do not complete this game. It is agony. I completed this game with save states, and I still had trouble. Getting every borderline score in each stage allows you to access Stage 11 and fight King Dedede, giving you the good ending of the game. Beating the high score in Stage 11, which is 235,000 points, will let you unlock the ability to play the bonus games at will. This completion bonus fucking sucks, especially considering the pain and agony you would go through just to unlock it, and not even a sound test! Bullshit. Do not complete Kirby's Block Ball. I assure you, you will have a bad time if you do. Kirby's Block Ball is a mess of a game. The story is fine and serviceable even if it is derivative, and the presentation is also just as good. It provides great visuals for the Game Boy and a pretty good soundtrack as well. Where this game severely lacks in quality, however, is what some would argue is the most important part: the gameplay itself. This is one of the most frustrating games I've ever played, and honestly, by Stage 3, it's just plain not fun anymore. If I were playing this casually, I would have dropped it pretty quickly. Kirby's Block Ball gets an overall rating of a B, but a very, very low B. I would not recommend this game to anybody. Play it for like 2 seconds and then move on. Thank you everyone so much for watching this video, and I hope you guys enjoy the new format of the retrospectives. If you like what you see, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell. All the social media are in the description below, so check them out as well. We also got merch in the description. Next week, we'll be talking about the next Kirby game in the lineup, Kirby's Toy Box. But if you're too impatient to wait a week, you can become a channel member and watch it right now. I'm Bottles, and I bid you, my well-esteemed guests, adieu.